All right, let's get right into it here. Market is up about 0.2% on the S&P. As you can see, the micro-term moving average, it's been supporting the buyers here this entire month of May. As you can see,
perfect.
The micro-term has never been breached here. There's a micro-term, there's a micro-term, there's a micro-term, there's a micro-term, there's a micro-term. Entire day today, the micro-term is making sure that price does not breach that micro-term to the downside. You can see all throughout the day, it's been grinding all day long. But micro-term was right there to make sure to prop the price up. As you can see on the last hour,
perfect.
We did see that rally there. The problem was though this morning when I was posting it on X, that we did have that bearish divergence signal. As you can see here, we did just see that cross up here. As you can see here, it crossed back up right on that last hour ramp. And basically, just the way it looks, the way the oscillator is sitting at, the oscillator wants to reset that bearish divergence and make another room here, or make a room for the buyers to make another run here. Because as you can see, it's been sort of consolidating last several days ever since it hit overbought. And I think typically last time when we did see that bearish divergence with that cross here, you see that there's a lower high on that oscillator, right? And then you see that cross. What happened was, instead of seeing the correction through time, correction through price, by price coming down, what buyers did is it corrected through time by moving that price sideways, absorbing that bearishness with that bearish divergence, and while waiting for that oscillator to reset. And once that oscillator crossed back up, remember there's a plenty of room here. And then what happened? Once that oscillator reset it, crossed back up, that's when we saw that 2-day vertical run up.
You win. Perfect.
Right now, and that all happened, you have to understand that throughout all of this happening this entire May, that micro term was never once breached to the downside. We're seeing that cross back up here, which it desperately requires a follow through to the upside. Because if we don't see a follow through tomorrow, let's say we see a down gap, or this thing start to fall over and break below the micro term, this thing will whipsaw back down. And what's gonna happen is that bearish divergence is gonna continue, you see? So we can look at that resistance, you can look at that bearish divergence line as a oscillator resistance. So bulls have a really good setup here. I think gapping up will be the best choice at this moment to kind of jumpstart this. Because remember, a gap up does not use the oscillator energy. So by gapping up, that oscillator is not going to make a move with it. The oscillator is going to stay the same. But if we see a gap up and then continuation to the upside, that's when the oscillator is going to move. And then it's going to break above the falling resistance on that oscillator. And it's going to nullify that bearish divergence. So this is kind of a level where I think, with the all-time highs printing, a lot of people are probably going to be excited for another leg higher, which is very much possibility. And I think we have a higher probability of that. But keep in mind, this is sort of a good area for any kind of shenanigan. You will know early tomorrow morning, depending on how the market opens and how it trades in the first hour or two. you'll know. And then what you really want to focus on is that micro term, right? And then you want to make sure that oscillator, either if it's gonna break out or it's gonna whipsaw back down, because if it whipsaws back down, that's gonna be the, you know what I'm saying, still bearish divergence still applies. Well, I want to talk about this real quick here. I'm gonna be streaming this chart the entire day, open to close, Monday through Friday, whenever the market is open, for my mini members. And right now I'm running a promo, so if you sign up to yearly, it's gonna run you about $60 a month. So I'm gonna be looking at 65-minute chart here, and I'm also gonna be analyzing the daily, and then at times I'm also gonna be analyzing weekly chart as well, so you can see that daily. So I'm gonna give you a total complete recap, analysis and forecast. With 65 minutes for sure, we're gonna be looking at more often, and then daily, on a daily basis, we're gonna be looking at daily as well, because daily is very, very important to understand where we are at in the midterm of sense. And but what about the longer term, right? What about the primary term? That's what we're gonna do weekly. And in weekly chart, we're not gonna be analyzing it every day or every week, because weekly chart is gonna move so slow. But obviously, you know, time to time, I'm gonna talk about it when I feel like it is time to talk more about weekly. So if you really wanna dive deeper into Spider focused in-depth daily updates, and I think this new feature that I've just started today, it's gonna help a lot of traders, where you're gonna be able to see my 65-minute chart live from open to close, and obviously my take on where the oscillator is. And then they're gonna give you guys also email updates. They're gonna be midday update, post-market update, weekly videos. This is where I'm gonna talk about 65-minute chart, daily chart. Every video, 65-minute chart, daily chart, complete recap, analysis, which I'm gonna be talking about key support and resistance with moving averages. Again, 65-minute and the daily. Trend reversal signal, trend continuation signals, overbought, oversold. I think all of those signals came about in a very crucial levels, right? Very crucial levels. Again, this is a daily chart. The crucial bullish divergence signal came about in October 2022. There's a bearish divergence signal we talked about. There's another bearish. This is a daily chart, guys, and something that I don't share, right? I don't share with you guys this daily chart. Sometimes I do, but not in detail on X or on YouTube. There's a bearish divergence, and I think the crucial how I was able to call the low during 2024 October was, you know, there was a primary to moving average here. You see that? You see this moving average? That's a primary to pink, thick pink. Follow that thick pink here. This is daily chart. This is daily chart. Follow that thick pink. You see how it came down to that level before you went vertical for 5 months straight. Not only it came down to my primary term moving average, we also had a bullish divergence here on that oscillating. This is a daily chart, guys. So combining 65-minute chart analysis along with the daily chart, and I'm gonna give you a recap and forecast on the weekly, and time to time I'm gonna be giving you some special videos, special charts, whenever I feel that there's something else I want to talk about. I love analyzing this S&P 500. It's my favorite. I don't look for any trades unless I know exactly where the S&P 500 is. I do not look for different setups, or I don't go through any other indices or any of my positions. I don't even look at any other stocks until I figure out where the S&P 500 is gonna be. Once I understand the trajectory of the S&P, then I extend my analysis to the NASDAQ and semiconductor, and then I start looking at the broad market, and then I go out to individual equities and look for setup. That's how important I think the S&P 500 is. Most people don't realize. Right, that's why most people, they don't realize, well, when they should be short, when they should be going long, when they should be shorting. So they just do both, right? They're always shorting and long, any given moment, because they don't fully understand. And obviously in this type of market, last year and a half or so, it's been a very, very difficult market to short anyway. So you understanding, I think, you know, where the S&P is, and I think that's going to really help as you navigate this market. And hopefully I can able to, you know, navigate this market with you and equip you as we all trying to be successful in a stock market here.